Okay, these are 4 switches to raise that base level of joy. Talked about these in depth on the happiness switch that's available on all podcast platforms. But if you want the quick and dirty, this is it. Number 1, stay in motion. When you do that, things are happening in your body, which will raise that happiness, that level, that base level of happiness, give you little inklings of joy. It'll pepper it throughout you. But at the same time, it's also keeping you focused on something, whether it's what you're moving towards or whatever you may be engaged in. But when you're stagnant, flipping through that phone, that's where the thoughts of either forward, thinking about dreading something in the future, or backwards, ruminating on something in the past, that's where it gets you into trouble. Number 2, engagement. It's related to motion in the sense that immerse yourself in a hobby or in something that has or grabs your attention and holds your attention. And so for me, what I've tried to do is think about, as a kid, what did I enjoy doing? What are those hobbies, like playing an instrument or drawing? What were those things that really held my attention then that I naturally gravitated towards, and do it again? Like coloring with my kids, breaking out the Play-Doh. Turns out it's actually pretty fun. Number 3 is connectivity. Get around the people that you love, get around friends. Conversation and connection helps us feel better. It just does. And so this isn't only limited to the people within your immediate sphere, like your friends and family, but anytime you have the opportunity to introduce yourself, don't fear it. Do it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Absolutely nothing. And I guarantee if you go into that conversation and you've got no stakes on the line, you will get something good about it. Either you'll tell something about yourself, or you'll learn something about the other person, or in general, it's always going to be, I won't say always, but many times will be a very positive experience. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And there's absolutely nothing to lose. The 4th one is attachment. Lose attachment, particularly to things. The more we find that ourselves are attached to things, even people, the more we find that dreaded sense of loss. And I would say most of what we're feeling in that sense of loss is probably created by our mind and feelings, and actually as a measure or calibration of what we've lost. It's exacerbated, right? And so, but the more we can get in the mindset, the perspective that we don't need things, we can certainly enjoy them, and we should, as we would any other experience, but recognize them as being ephemeral, as everything is. And it'll make it much, much easier when that thing is absent from your life. 2 other things that I'll add here: get sunlight. It's good for you. Plenty of studies out there that recognize the benefits of sunlight, whether it's vitamin D, eyes in the morning in terms of setting our cycles. Huberman Lab is an excellent resource for that. I think it's called the Huberman Lab podcast. Like, get out in the sun as much as possible. Number 2 on these quick switches, 6 overall, cold showers. It's not for the faint of heart. I try to get a cold shower every day. Usually I get in a couple. And paradoxically, what I'll feel through that is I think, an elevated focus, while at the same time, it'll have a calming effect. And so once I get past that turning the knob, that initial shock, after a few moments of being in the shower, I feel that calm kind of roll over, the focus sets in. It's an amazing effect. And I think also, giving a couple of nods to the Huberman Lab, the Huberman Lab talks about that, and that I think there may be some studies from earlier this year where there's just a moderate degree, like 68 degrees, does all the difference. My timer's up, 5 minutes. Boom, I hit it. Everything's been covered. Mecca are the first: motion, engagement, connection, attachment, and then a little sunlight and cold showers. Top it off. You'll be feeling good. See ya.